And we have started. Oh my God.
Tyler is very loud.
Whoa.
Don't know what the problem is there.
That needs fixed.
What did you do now?
Holy crap. Look at those levels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
look
it's
at that.
really loud.
Oh, what did you do now, Tyler?
Did that fix it? Are we better?
Did Tyler afraid to break it? What did we do?
No, I'm probably fixing it.
What
I mean,
did
well, I
Tyler
guess
do?
it depends on how much control you have
Look
over
at that.
it.
It's working. It's slowly going down. Spooky time.
I can't see because for whatever fucking reason, this does not scroll.
Oh, no. Tyler broke the computer.
It's never scrolled since I've installed it.
No, what the hell's wrong with you?
Well, what I really need to do is put Ken back in charge so shit gets done right.
Failure has happened.
Well, all I ever did was hit record.
This is a technical problem that we have had. Everybody, we will be hitting the knobs, and then we will say, "We are the Postman," and this is spooky season. Today we will talk about the French movie Les Belles
We actually started, or like
I planned to just keep this shit, but I don't know, Tyler. I don't do seconds. The second one is always worse than the first one, and you know it.
It's not always worse, but it's often worse than the first one. That's true.
I'm intoxicated.
No shit.
It's gonna be really hard to keep me on track, Ken.
That would explain the shouting.
That would explain the shout.
I never shout.
Shout, shout, let it all out.
These are the things I can do without. So shout out.
It's him.
Jesus
I'm
Christ!
talking to you. Shout out.
We are the Posterman. And we are here this Halloween month to talk Halloween movies. But first, we're going to do our favorite game activity.
Spin that wheel!
And on the wheel, we have our picks because Lewis isn't here. So we each picked something to put on the wheel to
Spinning it!
So,
What else? I put Hubie Halloween.
Shuffle!
on the list.
Shuffle! Shuffle! Shuffle!
you didn't want it to be mine.
Elijah put Beetlejuice on the
All
list.
I wanted in life was Ernest Scared Stupid! And now we got
put-
Beetlejuice!
Ernest Scared. See, we would have lost anyway,
You can
Tyler.
hit shuffle again because we didn't do it right. So hit shuffle. Now we announced what movies there are. Now hit spin that wheel. Now we gotta say it.
Spin that wheel!
Hit it.
I do it now?
Yes. Okay. You're so fired.
I fucking hate everything! It's still goddamn Beetlejuice!
Of course it is.
I always get what I want.
We're done. You've said it twice earlier. I've now said it twice.
What did I say?
Fucking done.
What did I say?
Ken?
Beetlejuice?
What
Michael Keaton's gonna rise out of the
have you done?
I'm so excited. I've wanted to watch Beetlejuice all week.
What have you done?
I almost bought the entire box set of the animated series of Beetlejuice at Walmart the other week because it was like $14.
We do not learn lessons. We just keep saying it. Just keep
What,
saying
Beetlejuice?
it. Just keep fucking
It's
saying
on
it.
Prime?
I think so. If not, I can probably send you the
Peacock?
file.
He's gonna fucking rise up out of the ground in the cellar.
Hang on.
He's gonna be like, "Hi, my name's blah blah blah," and he's gonna eat us.
Hi, my name
Peacock
is-
Premium. You have to. It's on Peacock, but you have to pay for it.
I can just probably send it to you.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have to pay for his peacock.
Yep, right there in the old peacock.
Is that Eric Baldwin?
Eric Baldwin? Yes, it is. Have you not seen Beetlejuice?
Not for a really long time.
Why do we keep saying the name?
Because it's funny.
The last time I saw Beetlejuice was probably in the early to mid 90s. This might be one of those ones that Lauren refuses to watch with me. I may have to watch this
Oh, bring Jet along.
early mornings with Jet. Yeah. We've been watching Young Justice. It's been a good time.
This is great.
It's been our midnight feed show. Like we watch an episode or two while he's eating. It's gonna keeps me awake, so it works out most of the time.
It's been Beetlejuice I have not watched. I watched like a year or two ago. just because I purchased it again on digital.
Did I just hear birds?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Ken's.
It's my phone.
It's Ken's
Okay.
phone.
Because Elijah texted me something.
I sent him a screen pass like
I was very
supposed to.
concerned for a minute.
I sent him a screen pass of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
Eric Baldwin when Winona Ryder.
Eric Baldwin.
Winona
It's only rated
Ryder.
PG. This
Yeah.
movie can't be that bad.
It's not. It's like a kids movie. Eric Baldwin. Beetlejuice!
Well, I'm not going to bed tonight.
I'm totally right now while ordering the complete series of AMA Show because I love the AMA Show. All right, the movie's Monster House. Ken, go.
Three teens discover that their neighbor's house is really a living, breathing, scary monster.
What?
That's what it says.
What?
That's what it says.
What?
What?
Say what?
I hope I didn't act like that when I was a teenager. Damn.
Mitchell Musso plays DJ. Catherine O'Hara is mom. Fred Willard is dad. Sam Lerner is Chowder. Maggie Gyllenhaal is Z. Jason Lee is Bones. Spencer Locke is Jenny.
Jenny.
Jenny. Jenny.
John Heater is the main dude.
Yes, John Heater is Reginald Skolinski.
Kevin James is one of the cops.
And
Nick Cannon's in it.
Yeah, Nick Cannon is the other cop.
As the other cop.
Steve Buscemi is Nevercracker.
Where's Lewis when you need him?
We achieved our goal.
Nick Cannon
everybody.
is Officer Lister. Kevin James is Officer Landers. They are each in this movie for about 45 into seconds.
They're in there longer than that.
Aw.
But it's maybe a minute.
Okay, they have 45 into seconds of dialogue.
That's better. Then they scream and get eaten by the house.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
It goes happen.
Spoilers.
I wanted death.
No.
They're the only two that die.
No, they don't. They come back in the end credits.
Oh, that's right. Do
Everybody that you see get eaten comes back in the credits.
Mm.
Even the dog. They made sure to show
that's right,
you.
the dog does
they
come
made
back.
sure to show you everybody that was eaten came back during the end credits.
Otherwise, it would
Otherwise,
have
it's
been
not a
rated
kids'
PG.
movie. Yeah. I made Tyler watch through the end credits to be like, here you go, Tyler. You get to see every single person that you thought might be dead.
I didn't care.
The only person that was allowed to die was the house. With the
But
spirit
she
of
got
the
set
mind.
free.
Yeah, she was free because that was a good thing.
I didn't care.
You didn't? Shock.
No. I'd have been okay if people died. Might have made it worth it.
This movie felt longer than it was. I don't remember.
That's true.
I was sitting there, I was like, whoa, this movie's long.
Why did you make me watch this?
I don't know.
You know how hard it was for me not to sit there and just diddle my phone the whole time?
Whoa. I was sitting right with you. Please don't diddle anything if I sit next to you.
While he's sitting, except for him, you can only diddle Elijah.
Yeah. If I had
when
gotten
Elijah is
a happy ending during Monster House, this movie would have been much better.
It's how I pay rent.
That's how I find it, like a witch. You, hello. You're like the old lady in Robin Hood. That was Prince of Thieves, where the old witch lady was like, "Hello there," or was that Robin Hood Men in Tights? That was trying to have sex with the prince.
I don't remember.
Men in Tights.
Where the old witch lady was trying to have sex with the prince.
Men in
Hello
Tights.
there.
In Prince of Thieves, she's
his mother.
Surrogate mother.
Yeah.
That's right.
When this movie was new,
I was a young warthog.
you may have been a young warthog.
You make that joke like every other episode.
It's so easy.
Um,
Sometimes you gotta stick with a good thing, Elijah.
this movie somehow got put on rotation at my parents' house.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. As I sit here, I'm trying to remember. I think my mom likes this movie.
It's like Mars Needs Moms, in my opinion, like the art style.
Yeah, well, it's Image Movers.
Yeah.
So it's from the people that brought you Polar Express and
Oh, that was the creepy face movie I couldn't think of.
Oh, I threw Tom Hanks in the garbage.
What you call it? Christmas Carol and Mars Needs Moms and Monster House and
I think that's about it.
Beowulf.
Yeah, they did.
Was
Beowulf.
Beowulf also Image
I think it was.
Movers?
I think it was the last.
I'm making us watch Beowulf sometime.
I don't own Beowulf.
I didn't remember that movie being...
I think maybe we debunked Beowulf because it was like a pain in the ass to get.
It's not a pain in the ass to buy on Blu-ray. It's like $5. So.
Well, there's that option, but I think it was a hard time to find it streaming somewhere.
Hang on, let me check.
I think that's why we nixed Beowulf.
I don't nix things, buddy. I figure it out. I got Meet the Feebles done. I got Road to Wellville, and by the way, you can now watch both of those movies streaming.
Both of those
Stab my eyes.
were required for us. Though Beowulf wasn't a requirement; that was just a wish of Tyler.
I'm just making a statement that if I need to do something, I will figure it out. But I had to order I had to order both of those freaking Blu-rays, DVDs off the internet.
Might be on HBO Max.
Maybe.
HBO.
Lord knows what's on HBO Max anymore.
My penis.
Your Warner Brothers product?
No.
No wonder it failed. Ha ha! Shit!
I
Had a low gross.
live my life in sadness.
I can't make a multiverse.
I can't. I don't want to make a multiverse.
Just want one verse?
I don't even want one verse.
But I remember Monster House being one of the first 3D movies when we didn't have 3D yet.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this would have been in that time.
Yeah. Because the first 3D movie that we had was Toy Story 3. Besides, like, the red and blue and green, like, glasses and ones that you had to wear. Like, Shark Boy and Lava Girl was like that, or Spy Kids.
Yeah.
Where you got those. I just remember this being, like, the tote of 3D.
God, I used to hate those. The movie looks weird and it's fuzzy. Did you put your glasses on? No.
Tyler, guess what still happens? Guess what I got the other day from the Avatar movie?
Damn idiots.
The Avatar re-release.
Do you see your life in 3D?
I just nod my head and just say, oh, you gotta get your glasses. Oh, well, I just walked in and I just assumed the 3D would just pop out. I was like, what magic do you think we have here?
We're not fucking Disney.
I goddamn got fucking throbbing fingers for freaking stretched out seat covers. I ain't got no Disney movie magic here in this piece of crap.
No, I used it all putting the seat covers on.
Fucking used all the magic I got today shoving these sheet covers on to get your fat ass to sit in them. Enjoy Avatar again.
Motherfucker.
Motherfuckers.
Why do I still have my headphones on?
I don't know why you have your headphones.
They don't-
Does it
they're
show
not
off your
doing-
cat ears? Cat montage!
There's already a cat montage.
No,
in
we're
the
putting
previous
another
episode.
one. Cat montage!
Don't need one.
Cat montage. But dog gets eaten in this movie.
Get a puppy montage.
There, like, you can definitely tell, like, once you pointed it out that this was written by Dan Harmon, you could definitely tell it was Dan Harmon dumbed down.
Yeah, well, like
Because of all, like, the pee jokes
in
and
in the trivia,
Uh-huh.
there's let me see if I can find it quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's this long.
Oh boy, long. Unlike Tyler's
tirade
penis.
about-
Long,
Tirade. That's what people have when they see Tyler's penis.
You have a tirade about my penis?
Yep.
Why?
It's too small.
Co-writer Dan
Oh.
Harmon responded to a Tumblr post written by Kelly Oxford on how her daughter Salinger was having nightmares after having seen the movie. Harmon wrote back specifically to Salinger, I assume I'm pronouncing that right, telling her how the screenplay he started writing did not turn into the movie she saw. I will tell you a secret that sounds so silly you might not believe it, but it's true. I never finished writing Monster House before my bosses turned it into a movie. And then different writers, people I don't even know, changed the story in lots of ways, and the movie that you saw was not the story I wanted to tell you. He continued saying how even a story that sad or scary should always make you a little less scared after you've seen it. Of particular note, Harmon blamed Gil Kenan, calling him a hack, and Steven Spielberg calling him a moron.
Oh boy.
For its scarier than intended tone. Harmon ended the note by saying, "Next time Monster House is on, just remember that the guy that wrote it told you it was dumb." Harmon later took to Twitter to clarify he meant no real disrespect to Spielberg, saying that he was merely frustrated that something he had a hand in writing terrified a child. The only thing Spielberg did to Monster House was give it a chance to be seen. I don't think I ever met that guy there.
I was about to say, I feel like Spielberg's just there in name alone. Like, he's like, here's some money.
He's an executive producer, yeah.
Like, money?
I think,
all right,
anyway.
I got it.
Yeah, because it's Amblin, right?
I don't think it's Amblin. I think he owns part of Image Movers. I feel like Image Movers is part of his big company. Because I feel like he has a hand in Polar Express, or is that Zemeckis?
That's Zemeckis. Yeah. Although, and realistically, Zemeckis and Spielberg are probably pretty
close, tight knit. But I'm talking like
Columbia Pictures, Sony.
Yeah. But
was it what? Hang on.
Oh, well, my man. Ken found a revelation
Hang on.
about Monster House in 2008.
Image Movers in Amblin.
2006, sorry. Image Movers in Amblin. What?
Yeah, like that's my first note. Image Movers in Amblin. This movie has quite the pedigree.
Amblin? Like ambulance?
Amblin. Amblin Entertainment.
Tyler, just look at your phone again.
Don't be rude.
The big boys are talking, Tyler.
Don't be rude.
Yeah, Amblin Entertainment, Columbia Pictures presents Relativity Media in association with Image Movers, Amblin Entertainment, Sony Pictures Animation. So Sony distributed Image Movers, Pinocchio, What Lies Beneath, Ally, Flight, Castaway, The Witches, Finch, Monster House, Beowulf,
What the hell?
Real Steel, Polar Express.
You told me the bit.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
Welcome to Marwin.
You told me the big boys
Last
were
Holiday,
talking, and I quit
Shipman,
listening.
Christmas Carol. I don't know what this is.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
I don't know
To
what's
be
happening.
honest, to answer your question, Elijah, I don't know because I quit listening. I was scolded, I was shamed, and now I quit listening.
They're like, you could definitely tell this is a flawed script because things just happen and then they never get like resolved or anything comes about it. Like the third act switch to be like, oh no, the two boys are mad at each other.
Yeah, well, like the fact that like
And the cough syrup thing didn't come to anything.
Yeah, well, and the fact that like DJ and Chad are like fighting over the girl, and that sort of fizzles and doesn't go anywhere.
Oh no. And of course, Chowder's not getting the girl. He's wearing a cape the entire movie for no freaking reason.
Truth. Because it's Halloween.
But it wasn't Halloween when you started wearing the cape. He just kept wearing a cape. Like
he's like DJ's friend who just is like, hey.
Like he's the friend he's ashamed about.
He's the Tyler.
Oh!
Chowder. Same thing.
It's not the same thing. I am hurt.
Drink some
Ow!
Drink some more margarita.
That was a deep stab wound.
Just remember, deep down, I'm letting you live in my house, so you can't be bothering me that much.
It was hurtful.
But funny.
I want to weep.
I want to weep. Sure you do.
Yeah, so Zemeckis is one of the minds behind
Image moving.
Image Movers.
Okay. Spielberg probably just had money. Gotten Ken down a rabbit hole, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, everyone, I have fallen down the rabbit hole.
He's fallen down the monster house hole that's in the middle of the monster house.
Okay, so
Down the bunny
Amblin,
trail.
Amblin is Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
Steven
I knew
Spielberg,
that.
Kathleen Kennedy, Frank Marshall.
I knew he owned Amblin. That's easy. But so monster house digestion or just general question.
Uh-huh. Where would it poop?
I like it doesn't have
Where
to poop,
would a
but
monster house poop?
I'm more curious
Nope.
as to
I want
Okay,
Ken's
let's go.
answer first.
Okay, let's
don't
go
know.
to where would the monster house poop? and then we'll
That
go
just
on.
popped into my head.
It comes out the vents at the back. That's why we never see the backyard.
Oh god.
Maybe.
It's like Yoshi.
Steve Buscemi has to go out there with like a snow shovel every other day, and it's like, oh, I forget the house's actual name. Shovels it back.
It's like Yoshi. Yoshi eats all that stuff, but where's it go when he's done?
It's just wood, so he just has like termites that he just throws on top of it and eats it.
Oh, that's less disgusting.
It's a kids movie, so
The termites are gross.
yeah. But when they get eaten in the house, if all of these people are still alive,
Does that
Where
mean
are
they
they?
became wood?
In the sub-basement basement.
there's another basement below the basement.
I guess.
That's the digestion basement.
Yes. The stomach basement, yes.
Because apparently we're under its mouth at some point. That's why that's where all the toys are, I thought.
All the num-num treats.
The thing, like, well...
What? What? Yep.
I didn't really try to follow, and I maybe should have. I didn't really try to follow the architecture, like the floor plan of the house, because
What's the point of watching Monster House?
You gotta learn the anatomy of a
The
house.
goddamn movie's called Monster House.
I'm sorry, guys, I let you down.
I was impressed that they didn't cover up the nice wooden flooring with carpeting.
Well, because then that'd be difficult to animate.
But that's what people do with nice flooring. They always cover it up with carpeting. Why would people do
Where did Steve Buscemi sleep?
Upstairs,
that? In the brain.
Then it just like he slept in his wife's brain.
in the
It was-
right or left eye.
Just was up there, just like Steve Buscemi's watching some illicit things on the computer, and she's like, "Oh, the internet!"
It's set. It's set in like 1986.
Yeah, I know.
1986.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
set in the past. That's why he's so excited about a basketball.
Yeah, and why
Chowder fucking hypnotized by a goddamn basketball like an idiot.
and why Bones is so bent out of shape
McKay.
over a kite.
Jason Lever, his hot. There's somebody that had a hot 45 seconds of dialogue.
Also true. Yeah, Monster House takes place in
the boyfriend
1983.
the boyfriend of the babysitter that gets eaten because of the kite.
He needed to die.
A lot of people needed to die in this movie.
Dude, I had this awesome kite.
Dude, the kite.
It's so awesome, man.
It's so cool. No one in their life has ever said that except Charlie fucking Brown when his kite got eaten by the tree.
I feel like Keanu Reeves might have said it.
Well, Keanu Reeves might have
I-
said it, but he would have said it ironically and high.
That was an awesome kite.
Dude,
I flew it so high.
that's such a cool kite.
It was totally awesome.
Totally. I want in the next John Wick movie for him to have a kite.
I got put in jail because of cookie
Could John
crime.
Wick kill somebody with a kite?
Oh yes.
Oh, he can kill
Okay.
anybody with anything. He's like Jason Bourne, but
Better.
I don't know.
More
He'd
fun.
Take the cross beams and stab somebody with them.
Who would win in a fight?
Why is there
Jason
not a John
Bourne
Wick MMO?
or John Wick? There is. I showed it to you, and we didn't play it.
No, it's the silly. It's that silly thing that you showed me. Was that thing that you were like that army game thing where you were like chucking horses?
No.
Oh. Or are you talking about the one where you had to put the glasses on? What the hell is the word I'm searching for?
Virtual reality?
Ice. Payday 2! Look.
VR, yeah. You were right. That's the movie.
It is the movie.
That's John Wick the movie. I can watch that here.
Hang on. I had it. I think it's this, John Wick Hex.
Yeah, it's the VR game.
No, that's a mobile game.
Oh,
or
it's
not
a mobile
game, but it's from
It's RTS.
Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of Counter-Strike, but that's not an MMO.
No, it's not an MMO. It's single player.
I'm talking about like a Dead Rising game of like John Wick. Like where anything in the vicinity he could pick up and be like, I'm going to kill him with this. Like that was the only thing that made Dead Rising interesting was like, oh look, I found the VCR tapes. I could kill zombies with VCR tapes. I think I would have a grand time playing a John Wick game where like I have a trash can. I'm going to put grenades in the trash can, close the lid, and then watch it explode on people.
John Wick, known for using grenades in trash cans.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, items. Just general, like, fun items.
Is there a MacGyver movie?
There's a MacGruber movie.
I feel like that was a MacGyver thing to put grenades in a trash can.
Maybe.
Actually, he would have made a grenade out of a trash can and a thing of bubblegum and a toothpick.
Good point. But I did not like the dirty humor that this movie kind of had. I usually am a I usually like dirty humor, but I feel like when I'm watching this sort of kids movie, I don't want to hear him talk about peeing in bottles. Or...
Yeah, that was weird.
I am.
And the issue is like
Dirty humor I didn't notice, mostly because most of the movie I was like, don't care, bored, done, mentally checked out.
You were mentally checked out until I was like, Kevin James, and you were like, there's Paul Blart!
I did not say there's Paul Blart. But I was like, oh yeah, there's Kevin James. Alright, back to not paying attention and giving a shit.
And so, like, these kids are what? 11, 12, 13, something like that?
They're teens,
Possibly.
it says. They gotta be at least 13.
Yeah, I'm going with probably about 13.
Yeah, because...
They're slightly horned up.
The plot synopsis from the IMDb is gospel and to be taken to the bank.
It is.
We've
As
learned
the-
that
as the We
over
Hate-
and over and over again.
As the We Hate Movies put it, the international movie Dummies. Where anybody can change anything.
Is that what we are, international movie dummies?
Yes.
It says in another thing, 13-year-old DJ.
Hey,
Okay.
these people must not know how, like, teenagers act.
I don't know.
Well, and that's part of my, like, realistically, a 13-year-old, although I guess they're away for the weekend, aren't they?
The parents are away for the weekend.
Because, like, a 13-year-old, you could conceivably let home alone.
Possibly.
Not me.
Unless you have very overprotective parents that are like, okay, here's
I wasn't
Susan.
allowed to stay home alone, but that's because my brother would destroy shit.
Well, you had other smaller brothers, and they were probably afraid that you would smother them.
I wouldn't smother them.
Right. You weren't an only child.
Responsible.
You weren't an only child of an overprotective mother and a pervy dentist.
Yeah.
Dad was pervy?
He says something like I have that in my notes. I don't remember what he said.
Yeah, Dad says something
To
pervy.
say he says doesn't he catch? Isn't DJ like looking at something? He's like, oh yeah, I get it, or something.
Oh yeah, he
weird
was
like
looking at the
that.
neighbor across the street. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, something about the telescope and staring across the street.
Oh yeah, no, and only mine involved whatever, and
I think it was like the neighbor.
like the neighbor lady or whatever, and I was like, oh, so Dad
checking
was
the quotes. So
Yeah, it was a creeper thing.
hey DJ, you got any beer? It's like, nope, don't want to hear a 13-year-old child in my kids' movie say that.
Yeah, Dad, the pervy dentist who withholds his emotions and approval. Because he's like, no, I'm not going to... He knows I love him. I'm not going to tell him I love him. I mean, I get it. It's 1983 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just...
Puberty. Lots and lots of puberty. I hated that. I was like, can we not keep talking about puberty?
Good luck with the puberty.
I understand this is a giant metaphor for growing up. But...
Yeah, well, and the other part of it is, like, this isn't... And I think maybe this is probably something that somebody would have done a better job with if this hadn't been written by a committee.
Yeah.
It's not really like a coming-of-age story either.
It's trying to be a lot of things, like a mystery movie, a monster movie, a kids movie, a teenage coming-of-age movie, sometimes girl powery movie, a weird, like, friends are what you make of it movie, a ghost story, an interesting don't judge people for how they look movie.
A waste of my time movie.
Pretty... Like, the story's just convoluted, too. Like, to live that long in that house with, like, those problems to be like, oh, every Halloween, I'm like, put a fence up.
Yeah, that's the other thing that does... It could be that she wouldn't let him put a fence up. Like,
Maybe.
if he'd have tried to put a fence up, it'd be like... He's ashamed of her and he's
He's trying to hide him.
hiding her or whatever.
She's like the witch from Hansel and Gretel, but in house form.
She wanted to eat children.
Yeah. They're the most tasty because they're all full of sugar.
Especially on Halloween.
They're all hopped up. They're ready to go. They've eaten their apples with razor blades and gummies with heroin, and they're ready to go.
When did you all stop trick-or-treating, by the way?
Mine's kind of an interesting story.
You never did.
No! Because there was multiple times from after I turned about 14 that I just continuously seemed to get grounded around trick-or-treat time.
So, about 14. Okay.
I 7th grade, I think, was the last time we went. And, like, I hadn't intended to go trick-or-treating, but my friends who lived across the street went. They came by, and I was all stoked to distribute candy. I was like, yeah, I'll give out candy. This is going to be great. And they came by and were like, no, Ken, come trick-or-treating with us. I was like, well, okay. I was like, hey, Mom and Dad, can I go trick-or-treating? Like, yeah, sure, we don't care, whatever. So I went trick-or-treating with them.
I think I went my last time in 8th grade also, sometime around middle school.
Yeah, I continuously seem to get grounded around trick-or-treat time for some reason or another. It seemed to be the magical time when I decided, I'm going to cause trouble.
You were a shenaniganizer. I could get it. I was not a shenaniganizer. I was a good little boy.
No, not me.
Nope. You were a rebel with your skateboard and shit.
It wasn't skateboarding that would get me in trouble, though. I
Maybe
can't
your
remember
mouth?
what they were.
Like the
It's
bus driver.
Probably my mouth.
And now look at it. It's being used to spread information across the web.
And it still gets me in trouble.
We haven't got kicked off yet.
Yeah, I still get in trouble.
It's fun getting into trouble. But yeah, I remember my last costume was just so uninventive. I just was like, you know what? Because I moved up here in 8th grade, and I heard that one of the houses gave out full-size candy bars.
What?
So I was like, oh snap! I'm a little fat kid. Full-size candy bars. Oh shit! And they give you multiple full-size candy bars. So I grabbed my dad's army boots, a pair of army pants, and like my dad's army helmet and went up just to that house.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, candy. And then I was like, well, I'll just do the cul-de-sac here. And I did the rest of the cul-de-sac in my area. And then I was like, goodbye. And back at Jenny Drive in Boiling Springs, I did that big loop that I had. And then I went back to my house and I was like, that's enough candy for me.
Poor Brett and Brandon had to deal with the candy inspector every time they went trick-or-treating.
Were you the candy inspector? Your parents?
Every time. It wasn't. We weren't candy inspectors. It was called the candy tax. Brett?
Is that why Brandon's almost was real thin at one point, and you all were, well, you?
You make it sound like I'm like 400 pounds.
I said you all. You could take it as I said Jake was 400 pounds.
I would be like, Brett, you come here right now. But I don't want to give you. It's like he knew. After the second year, he knew what was about to happen. But I don't want you to eat my candy. I'm like, it's a candy tax, Brett. I don't get to go trick-or-treating. You hand it over.
Did you have to give your candy away, Ken?
No.
Uh-huh.
No, he didn't have two older brothers that were mean pieces of shit.
I had to give my candy away because sometimes Andrew was a little unruly.
The best trick-or-treat candy haul we ever had was... I was 9-ish, and my big sister was 11-ish. I might have been 8, and she might have been 10. But it was somewhere in that window where, like, she was in 5th or 6th grade, and I was in 3rd or 4th grade. So, like, we were both big enough to be able to go out and sort of be and go as far as we wanted to, and trick or treat as long as we wanted to.
Yeah.
And because like my mom had her hands full with my little sisters, so she was like, yeah, go, whatever, we don't care. My sister and I, we did like we did like the neighborhood where we lived, and then we went down and around the corner and did the whole street, the whole next road, and came back, and that was, like I said, that's the best candy haul that I ever remember having, because we were out for, like, from the start of trick or treat till the end of trick or treat. We trick or treated like our feet were gonna fall off. It was
Like, can't stop. There's free candy going that way.
It's crazy.
Texas was probably my best one, but that's because most of the houses were like tight together. So
They were what?
they were tight together.
Oh.
They were like right on top of each other. And I had like lots of other streets to go down. Whereas in Boiling Springs, I would have had to walk into town, and that was a far walk.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a fun walk.
No.
The foxes
Especially with
and
a
the
costume.
coyotes would have got you.
No, they wouldn't have. But because I
Look
would
at
have
him.
punched him in the face.
He's little and plump. We must eat.
He's little and plump. I was not little. I was not little then. Plump, correct. Not little.
Just a mouthful. A bit off the flank.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
We must feast!
It's like the Fantastic Mr. Fox is like, look at him! He's weak! We can take him! It's like the fat ladies that knocked Todd into the wall to watch Twilight.
He's weak, ladies!
He's weak, ladies! Let's go! Top 10 favorite stories of the movie theater ever is that one.
I just imagine Todd sitting there like this confused look, and he's like, "What the fuck is happening?"
He didn't know how to respond because he got gut jabbed into the wall. So he's just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
in his head, and then
getting physically assaulted by somebody is.
And then women just go, he's weak, and then like 10 large women charge into the theater, and his response just is to say out loud, "Fuck it," and then walked out.
Say something mean, don't say something mean, don't say something mean,
Yep,
don't say something mean.
don't. Just put some margarita in your mouth and shut up.
Okay.
But yeah. Like, it doesn't even, like... I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this movie.
I do.
Like, I had to tell Tyler that I was like, Tyler, I swear that you, me, and Mike saw this movie together.
And then I remembered, and I was like, I don't remember my feelings then, but I can tell you my feelings now.
I feel like we came in like a matinee or something and watched
I want to
it.
die.
Because randomly we were just like there alone. I don't remember why. Because we watched it in 6. We had the bar. God, I wish I could remember other things besides where I watch movies and when. But by George, I'm an awful person. So, and I don't remember. I don't remember. Like, the rest of it I don't remember. But I was like, I remember Mike saying something about it. I feel like you were shouting at him about Halloween Tree, and he really wanted to watch Halloween Tree, and this movie reminded him of the Halloween Tree.
He probably was talking about how he wanted to watch Halloween Tree. I never shouted about Halloween Tree because I didn't know it existed until
No, I just think
year.
that you wanted. I just think you wanted him to shut up about Halloween Tree.
Oh,
Because I feel like he was like, you know what, we should have watched the Halloween Tree, and he was like, you know what, this movie reminds me of the Halloween Tree. Because like every 10 minutes, he was like Halloween Tree.
I hate. You know what else I hate?
You
I'm
just
gonna
hate Halloween.
fucking say it. I hate Halloween Tree.
You know Mike doesn't listen, so it's fine.
Does Brittany listen? Because she also likes Halloween Tree.
Fuck if I know. I doubt it. Brittany's like, you still have a podcast, probably?
Yeah. No, the only time I've watched Halloween Tree, Mike and Brittany came over. I still had 2 cats instead of none. I'm going to hell.
Cat montage!
Still had 2 cats instead of none.
Cat death montage.
Cat death funeral. Cat funeral. It was an accident and not entirely my fault. Meow, 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 meow. We'll miss you, Whiskers.
What the fuck did this happen?
It's a How I Met Your Mother joke.
So,
And it's a grand all time.
Elijah, so like Lauren and I have been working our way back through How I Met Your Mother recently.
Uh-huh.
We throw it on in the background, and
It's a good background show. Go on.
yeah. But your For Glory
Uh-huh.
totally is a How I Met Your Mother reference.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't realize that.
Yep. For glory!
But you did it like I was listening to what was the Gladiator podcast, and you say it really close to how Sven says it, and I was like, oh, that's where it comes from.
From the Svens.
Push it, push the button,
Push the button for glory! And your office is in the hat?
And there's a strip club in the letter N.
And it breathes fire. It's the most absurd tower in the world. I love How I Met Your Mother. I now really want to watch.
I wish I liked watching TV.
You've been enjoying what I put on in the background every now and
We
then.
put on comedy shows.
I have been putting on a lot of stand-up.
Himium is comedy.
Yeah.
Put on flippin' Night
flippin'.
Court.
Night Court.
Night Court.
Night Court.
What is fucking Night Court?
It's court.
It's a seminal 80s sitcom. Takes place in a courtroom in New York City. Every episode is a bottle episode. Not really, but
It's Law and Order before Law and Order.
Oh.
only comedy.
We've been watching a lot of Bert Kreischer.
And then last night we watched Patton Oswalt.
That dude reminds me of Jesse
Jen,
so
go
much. With
home
Patton Oswalt.
And watch Patton Oswalt and do stand-up on Netflix.
That was the fucking
That
funniest
was-
shit I've ever heard.
I almost choked to death like 5 times.
Okay.
I was drinking something and then all of a sudden I'm like...
I think it's on my list.
Like, I knew Patton Oswalt was a funny dude, but I was like dying over here.
He's a pretty solid stand-up comedian.
I
don't love all of his stuff. There was one.
There was one on Netflix where I was like,
Every once in a while, I'll go on a stand-up tear. I'll
Yeah.
be like, I want to listen to some stand-up,
That's what I've been
The
on.
problem is it's really hard to, or it's not necessarily hard to find good stand-up, but unless you already know somebody to go look for, it's hard to find good stand-up. Yeah. Like, to just, like, type stand-up comedy and you're totally rolling the eyes like, oh, this is garbage. There's a chance that you get, well, this is just bad.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily bad, but it's like, this is not to my taste.
I didn't, like, the lady we watched after Patton, I didn't enjoy.
Oh, for the, 10 minutes you were downstairs?
The, 10-minute conversation about blowjobs. I'm like...
But we're also not women, so... Or gay men. But so we don't give those. Is what I'm saying. So we don't have the... We all might... Well, maybe not you.
What are you talking about?
You don't remember how those days were, Tyler.
What days?
It's okay, buddy. You'll get there someday. Cat montage!
We're not doing another cat montage.
3 cat montages in this episode. I demand it.
It's not happening.
But back to Monster House. So, I love how we don't see any fallout from any of the actions of Chowder. Like, the stealing of, like, the crane.
Oh, yeah.
The stealing his dad's pharmacy stuff. Like, he literally just runs into the pharmacy, like, grabs the stuff and shrieks and runs out the door.
Yeah, shoplifting the cough syrup.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, we didn't want to animate any more people in this movie. Okay, so that's why there's nobody else in this movie, because we did not want to pay to animate anybody else. Got it. Back on track. That's why the parents in the car when the girl gets picked up, you cannot see. So I was like, got it. We only animated who we had to animate. That's why there's nobody in that pizzeria.
Truth, there is nobody else in that restaurant where...
Was it Grotto's?
Skull is...
Where Skull is playing an arcade game and sprints out the door.
Not Galaga.
Yeah. No, he was playing the Dragon's Lair sort of game.
Oh, that's
right. It was
right.
like Castlevania.
That's right, yeah, no, you're right, it was.
It's like not Castlevania Dragon's Lair sort of thing.
Yeah,
But it just seemed like a rush job. It seemed like it was like, okay, we need to be out by this time. Like if Dan Harmon is telling the truth of the story, which Dan Harmon also has very late scripts, so I understand as to why they were probably frustrated.
Yeah, well,
that's why Rick and Morty has such a very odd timetable. Because Dan Harmon does not get scripts out in time.
Well, I mean, I guess the question becomes, well, yeah, I guess if he sold the idea, he's like, yeah, I want to write a kids movie about a
kids sort of horror movie,
a haunted house. That's literally a haunted house.
Yeah.
And he had the beginnings of a script that had been turned in, and this was dragging on. Like, well, we have the production gears are turning on this.
Because that would have been when he was in Community, right?
2000. Well, it would depend on when this was in
2006.
When this was in production.
So let's just gamble 2 years. So 2004.
So that would have been way before Community.
Community 2009. Yeah, you're right. Just wanted to check to see if he was still writing like a season's worth of Community on top of this.
No, not. I mean, maybe if he was banking Community episodes in advance, but...
But all in all, it was like an interesting times table to go back to. I remembered watching it with them too, and I was like, I had a good time watching. I remembered it brought back good memories, but like the movie as a whole is one of those movies where it did not hold up as far as I remembered. Like, I'm pretty sure it's on DVD at my parents' house, but it's not sitting behind you on the Blu-ray shelf, and it probably won't. But did you watch this the first time in the rotation at your parents' house, or because you hadn't been at the theater at that point?
No.
Yeah.
No, I did not see this movie in theaters.
Yeah. Because I was like 2006. That was early in the run of the movies. So.
Yeah, I didn't show up until 2008.
Yeah. I was like, that was my like first fall at the movies, I think. No, second fall at the movies. Because I would have graduated 2006.
Well,
So I probably would have been freshman in college.
Most Extraordinary Space Investigations, Laser Fart, Channel 101, Call Me Cobra, Computer Man. Those are
Ken had a stroke.
These are the things that Dan Harmon was working on before Monster House.
Oh, I was like, Ken is just saying things now. Do you have any other notes, Ken, or should we just robot punch this?
It's time to robot punch.
Yeah, let's robot punch it.
All right.
There's nothing here
that needs to be discussed about Monster House.
I need to say. Well, because I usually just write beats through the story, and sometimes stuff reminds me of things to say, but
not for this movie.
This movie is not.
Let's get Tyler out of the way. Tyler?
Bored. Stupid. Not fun. Sadness.
He sounds like a beat poet. Snaps, everybody. Oh, that hurts. Oh, fuck. Don't snap, Elijah. Oh, God.
Your fingies.
My fingers still hurt from the fucking seat covers. I'm not kidding.
So, like,
I spent 3 hours.
when you grip a
doing seat
hold of
covers.
something and continuously do that motion for a long enough time, if your hands aren't
And
used to those
unpleasant.
things, it's
and then
going to hurt.
Then you're zipping. And,
Oh, so you were replacing.
He's just got finger fatigue.
I got finger fatigue. Too much work on my fingers, everyone. On Tyler's mom.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. It was.
That's disgusting. Don't ever
But
say
he
that
did it
again.
anyway.
But I did it
Don't
anyway.
ever say that again.
Just so that
Finger fatigue.
Just so that he could hold it over your head, Tyler.
Yep. Sometimes you gotta
Anyways.
do stuff to make yourself.
This movie sucked. I'm giving it a 0.3.
Wow.
Wow.
Shocker.
I can't even give it a 0.5. I hated it.
It went up to 0.2.
I said I can't even give it a 0.5. I hated it. Like, I'd have been, like, happy looking at, like, I don't know, the Facebook dating app. I don't know. I would have more
At least
fun.
there might have been some fake generated women.
There'd have been like Asian women that are not really real people. They're just Russian bots.
Hello, comrade. Would you like to go on a date to local coffee vendor?
In Russia, fuck you.
In Russia,
Soviet
Russia, we will be there to give blowjob.
Soviet Russia. Online date you.
Yeah, 0.3. Like this was rough. Like
I just watched The King of the Hill with Yakov Smirnoff in it.
what did I
He makes
say?
an appearance in an episode of Night Court.
Fuck did I say I would watch? I'd rather watch Cats. Said I'd rather watch Cats again.
That is completely untrue. I'm going with that he is lying.
I'm pretty sure I gave Cats a higher rating.
Yeah, probably, but
You
need to think about that before you say you watch Cats again.
I'm gonna watch the Butthole edition.
The butthole cut. You sound like the We Hate Movies guys who, when they did the Cats commentary, was like, you know what would be interesting if the butthole cut was real. Then all these magnificent stars that are in this movie of doom would be justified, besides Rebel Wilson. My favorite was the entire movie. They were making fun of Taylor Swift, being like, all right, no, I gotta be available for the Oscars. I'm in Cats. So, I did not hate it as much as he did, but it did not go as well as I was expecting it to go. Like, I was like, okay, this movie was not bad. I remember it being pretty good. And then I watched it with him, and I was like, this movie is 90 minutes, and it feels like 2 hours and a half.
I just wanted it to end.
I was like, wow. And then I was like, this movie's all over the place, and I was like, it's just confusing, and I was like, and the animation's not. I was like, what TV show is this like? And I could text everybody. I was like, this just looks like Jimmy Neutron, and the dad looks like they just took the Jimmy Neutron animation of the dad and was like, let's make him taller, less nose, less mouth, and there he is.
Yeah, the Jimmy Neutron has like everybody's like a funny shape.
Yeah.
Whereas in this,
Jimmy's mom.
people are they look more like humans.
Yes.
But that like rigid plasticiness of everything is you're totally on board. And you know that's a shortcoming of CGI, but.
Mm-hmm. But even at this time, we were having better CGI in like
Pixar
movies.
No, it's absolutely stylistic choice for this movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like you could definitely see it's a choice. Like even like another Image Mover movie, Beowulf looks better than this movie.
Beowulf
that we talked about.
Yeah, I think this is potentially the worst looking of the Image Movers movies.
Probably.
Like
at least from like if they're trying to look real, quote unquote, real.
Well, no, I mean, like from a.
Like I like A Christmas Carol. That's probably
see, that one I haven't seen.
There we go. We got to add it to the wheel on Christmas.
But.
Ernest Christmas?
Ernest Saves Christmas?
There is an Ernest Christmas movie.
I know there is.
It's not very good.
It doesn't matter. It's fucking Ernest.
You just really want an Ernest movie? You know, there's another month where we pick stuff, right? You could just pick an Ernest movie.
I'm trying to remember what I was going to pick, Elijah. It wasn't Ernest.
Ken's got a list.
Do you want the list?
Ken's got a list before he gives us his robot punch.
Oh, what's the list?
Hang on, I gotta...
Oh boy.
Hosmer. That's what your cup says.
Yeah, the glass is from Hosmer. It's one of the best wineries in the Finger Lakes that we've been to.
Ooh.
They gave this to us for free.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like free drinkware.
I do. I always enjoy a nice free wine glass.
I enjoy anything free, pretty much.
Birdies?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about birdies.
What the hell is birdies? Oh, God. All right, Ken.
Apparently it's on Amazon Prime.
Ken,
Thank you, Nate Panning.
Ken, do what's your robot punch?
Oh, like 2.75.
Oh, did I give mine?
I don't
know if you even gave a robot punch.
Oh, mine's a
Say
2.
it again.
Mine's a 2.
Okay.
Like this, I agree with Elijah. Like this movie is like it's not offensive, but it's not especially good. It drags. It is indeed all over the place. The performances are fine. You know, the animation is fine.
The house animation is great.
I
got to give that credit.
The style may or may not be to your taste, as we discussed. You know how things are kind of like rigid and plasticky. Like I said, that may or may not be to your taste, depending on
when the house is moving on its own 2 feet. That's a cool animation. I like the house moving. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. So, you know, it's not good enough to be 3, but I feel like it's better than a 2.5. You know, because like this movie, like there's like I can't necessarily say I can't necessarily say I recommend this movie, but at the same time, like I said, I feel like it's a little bit better than just a movie, but not a lot better than just a movie.
Yeah.
You know, whereas 2.5 is like, it's just a movie.
Yeah. So, did you hear the latest Marvel Studios news, Ken?
No, I don't think I did.
Ryan Reynolds announced Deadpool 3.
Yeah, Deadpool 3, and Logan's coming back as Wolverine.
Wolverine is coming, and
I did
Hugh
hear
Jackman
that.
comes
Hugh
back.
Jackman's
It's
coming
Hugh
back as
Jackman?
Yeah.
Elijah?
I did hear that. Or I should say I read that.
It's a really funny video. If you watch the video, it's really funny because it's Ryan Reynolds being like, "So, Deadpool's coming into the MCU, and we had to think of the best thing that we could think of. So I've been spending months thinking of the best possible picture that I could do, and I've got nothing, absolutely nothing. But I had one previous idea." And then Hugh Jackman walks in the background eating some nuts or something. And then he goes, "Hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine one more time?" "Yeah, sure, Ryan." And then it plays, and I Always Loved You, but it changed it to I Always Love Hugh.
Nice.
And then it shows you the logo, which is the Deadpool face with the Wolverine claws through it.
Okay.
And then today, on September the 28th, just to put everybody else, they both released another video, which... they were like, "Okay, we all know you have a lot of questions about Deadpool."
Oh yeah, I saw there's like an AMA or whatever.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, don't you worry, guys. We got the answers right here. We're gonna tell you everything. You know how Logan died in there?" And then it plays another song over the entire thing, so it's just them pantomiming things, and so it's just them two, and so it's like Wolverine and just Deadpool. And it's like they're just making funny faces and stuff. And then, like, "I hope that answered all the questions that you have." And then it said, "Deadpool, September 2024. And I was like, we are really promoting the hell out of a movie that comes out 2 years from now.
That's how he got the first one.
I know. I got to appreciate Ryan Reynolds for doing it and getting everybody excited. But I was like, this movie is 2 years away. And then the other MCU news is Blade lost its director. So the movie that's supposed to come out next year, Lord knows.
They lost a director. We can probably just forget about Blade and move on with life.
I'm excited for Mahershala Ali as Blade. That could be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that movie has a boatload of potential. Yeah. Especially if they...
But Mahershala is not happy with the fact that they have to now change directors.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're not ready to film. He's like, I could take other roles. He's like, I have other things, but come on. We're supposed to start filming, like, next month. So Mahershala is not happy either. So I was like, ooh, don't lose Mahershala Ali or else I'm out of the Blade thing. I'm like, if we lose Mahershala Ali, you lost a Blade viewer, but I'm still going to probably watch it. But yeah, that is my two pieces of news, and so Beetlejuice is next, and I guess I could announce
keep saying his name.
I can announce my movie for the following week if anybody else wants to catch up, get ahead of themselves for the other October movie.
Oh my goodness!
You're really excited to talk about it.
2 months at once.
What is it?
For the last week in October, we are doing a movie that we should have done a long time ago that I'm pretty sure most people will hate, but Elijah. And he's a musical fan, and we're going to discuss the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I fucking hate you so much.
Let's do the time warp, everybody!
Let's do the time warp again.
So not only do I get to do the comedy horror movie I wanted to do, I get to do the other movie I want to do. I would like to call this a win for Elijah again.
Ken, can we veto?
You can't veto the movie I pick.
No, I mean the spin the wheel.
Why are you voting to spin the wheel? It is the fairest choice. I literally said shuffle it, and then you shuffled it a bunch of times, and then up comes the thing. So it's the most. Then you spin a wheel.
I don't like you winning twice.
I didn't win twice. Well, I did win twice. But
sing a song.
Let's sing the song, damn it.
Are you caught up on Andor?
No, we have not watched Andor yet.
Okay.
Is it still good? I hear it's one of the better Star Wars
I keep telling him I should watch the Lord of the Rings thing and never do.
Episode 4 is a lot like.
They say it's the most not referential show out there on the Disney Plus.
Oh, that is true.
Of the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff.
That is true. Like, I feel like a lot of the... I was thinking about this. I feel like a lot of the reason why Andor is getting the love that it's getting is because it's kind of what people wanted the Book of Boba Fett to be. I.e., we wanted the Book of Boba Fett to be Boba Fett kicking ass, taking names, taking over the organized crime on Tatooine. That's what we wanted to see.
Not Friend of Fett?
We didn't want to see
Boba
Fett Boba Fett have this. We didn't
Come
want
on, everybody, let's all be friends.
A bunch of Boba Fett backstory and turn him into an anti-hero or turn him into a reformed hero. Like, that's not what we wanted from that thing.
Nobody wants.
This is Cassian Andor, who is this guy we know to be sort of. I don't want to say, like, he has very strong...
Unsavory.
He has a very strong... He's like Wolverine, where, like, he's willing... He knows what needs to be done. He knows what he wants to do. He knows where he wants things to be. And he's totally willing to get his hands dirty to make it happen.
Yeah.
And so what we're seeing is this guy who is willing to do all the wrong things for the right reasons... and the founding of the Empire, or the founding of the Resistance.
Yeah.
The founding of the Rebellion, the Rebel Alliance. So, it's giving us backstory, and it's doing cool things with a character that we already...
quote unquote.
Kind of, we know a little bit, and we like him.
We like him enough to have given him a shot.
Or he's at least interesting.
Yeah.
And it's not...
Is the Alan Tudyk robot in it?
Not yet. No, it's not. He should be in season 2.
Okay.
Because at least that's what I've heard. I've heard they're going to do a second season.
Yeah, that got
Andor
for a second season.
And K2SO should show up in the second season.
Okay.
But it's not like Obi-Wan, where you had 4 episodes, like you had 4.
You had 3 whole movies.
You had 3 hours of you had a 2.5 hour movie that you wanted to make.
Yeah.
That you stretched into a 6-hour miniseries. That was not necessarily and that's the biggest complaints I've heard about Obi-Wan generally are that it meanders and it's long and
it would have been it would have been the best Star Wars movie if it had ever come out as a movie.
It doesn't quite know, it overstays its welcome. It doesn't quite know what it wants to be. There are some really cool moments in that.
It's still my favorite Star Wars product in 20 years. So
and the to go back to Andor, the more positive feelings you have about Rogue One, I think the more you will like Andor. If you're one
I really
of those,
liked Rogue One.
If you're one of those folks like Elijah and I especially who think Rogue One is potentially the best Star Wars movie made in the last
easily
20 years.
Hands down. If I have to go movie wise, hands down, Rogue One is the best movie of the newest of all the new movies since Return of the Jedi. So, I like it more than every other one of those movies. I like Revenge of the Sith for stupid reasons. So,
your new empire.
I think,
and Force Awakens is good, but not good at the same time when you think about it. But Force Awakens is good as in that was the first Star Wars product we had gotten in God knows how long, and it's new sort of, but yet it's the same freaking story if you sit there and think about it.
Well,
I think that's why I didn't like those as much.
Yeah, well,
played too much to the fanboys.
We're not saying anything.
That's another Star Wars episode to come.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not saying anything that hasn't been said by 1,005.
Well, he's gonna watch a Star Wars movie.
Oh my God, there are 3 of us. Oh my God, we could do another one of those giant blocks where each of us.
We could do 3 in a row, 3 in a row, 3 in a row.
Oh God. Oh God. We could. That is terrible.
The trilogy of the trilogies.
That is terrible and brilliant at the same time, Tyler. Star Wars November,
and then we'd have to do.
Then we would do all the spin-off movies.
Yeah. Well, the problem is there's only 2 of them.
There's Solo.
There's Solo and Rogue One. Because when Solo didn't perform, they scrapped all the other. They scrapped the Obi-Wan movie. They scrapped the Boba Fett movie.
And then we could do the Star Wars Holiday Special. You do the Ewoks animated movie.
Actually, the thing to do with the spin-off movies.
Have you watched those Ewok movies on Disney Plus?
Not recently.
I haven't watched those.
I saw them as a kid. I've
the
seen them as a
animated
kid.
Star Wars Clone Wars.
Oh, there is the animated Star Wars Clone Wars movie.
That's true.
That did come to
There
theaters, yeah. So that would be 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, what have I done?
Oh, you've done something amazing. That's terrible. We could each rotate. That would be how it would do it. Oh my god, that's awful. I love it.
Little sparks of genius is what I am.
I love it and hate it at the same time.
This is almost as awesome as the McDonald's idea.
I would be forced to watch every Star Wars movie in November. I have no time in November. Let's make it in January.
Be forced to
no,
watch.
but I would watch them because that's what I would do. Someone has to be able to talk about all the movies.
Well, no, it would be.
It'd be like
talk about all the movies.
I know,
I've
but it'd be
seen
like
them all
I know,
enough.
but I haven't seen them in a long time.
Well, not the new ones.
I haven't seen any of them in a long time.
Not the new ones,
Yeah.
but like I've seen, like I grew up on the original trilogy.
Oh, I could talk the original trilogy, but there would be things that would kick back in my brain. Like I've played through the Lego game, and that's the most recent thing I've done.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, oh yeah, but I would need a refresher, and that wouldn't be bad. Let's save it for January after the rut of the holidays.
Yeah.
So the idea is like we each.
It's like the Godzilla podcast.
Yeah. So we each watch.
So
one.
each would watch one from each of the sections. So one of us would do Phantom
Every other
Menace,
month.
one of us would do Star Wars, one of us would do Force Awakens, and then the next week one of us would do The Last Jedi, one of us would do Empire, one of us would do Attack of the Clones. Then the third week we would do the last 3 in that set, and then the 4th week we would do Solo,
The random
the
spin-offs.
Attack of the Clones, and Rogue One. Or just the Clone Wars movie.
It's great.
Oh, that's terrible and awful at the same
Unless
time.
you're going to have to watch 2 movies each week.
I'm going to have to watch 3 movies
God, I
each
hope
week.
not. I hope I moved out by then.
I'm going to have to watch 3 movies each week. It's all 3 Star Wars movies. That's how I did the Lego game. That's how I did the Lego games, was I cycled through the entire, like, each chapter with the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s.
It's that time of night.
Yeah, Kent's typing, so.
Yeah, it could be that time.
It's that time of night. It's that time of night. It's that time of night. Oh, why is
It's
Drunky
that time
McGee
of night.
reading this page?
It's that time.
It's
of night.
time to good.
It's that time of night.
It's
www.thepostman. Why did we start screaming?
It's
time of night!
It's that time of
It's
night.
that time of night. You go to www.thepostmanpodcast.com.
It's that
Email
time
us
of
at
night.
thepostmanpodcast at
It's that time
gmail.com.
of
Twitter
night.
at
It's
the
that
Postman
time
Pod.
of
Guys are so loud. Instagram, the Postman Podcast. Facebook, the Postman Podcast.
It's that time.
The fucking letterbox, the Postman Pod.
It's that time of night.
Patreon, the Postman Podcast. YouTube, the Postman.
It was that time of night. It was that time of night.
See you next week with Beetlejuice, everybody. And that's
keep
Beetlejuice,
saying it.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
You fucking asshole.